Alright guys, who's ready to level up? Because today we're making the godfather of gaming, Super Mario. So as always, you'll need a paper, pencil, and your black line marker. And to color Mario today, I suggest red, yellow, blue, and brown. But you're more than welcome to do any variation on the character that you would like. So here we go. Game on. Alright guys, here we go. We're going to be making Mario today. So Mario's going to be in the middle of our paper, giving some room at the top. And for our background, we're going to start by making a circle in the middle of our paper. And this circle is going to be the base for Mario's face. So it won't be his whole face. We're going to build off of it, but we need a base to build off of. Do it very light and sketchy because there's going to be some things we erase and some things we add to. After we have our base circle, we're going to be building another circle touching the very bottom under. But this one's going to be bigger and almost going to have sort of a teardrop-ish kind of feel to it, or a raindrop where the bottom is a little bit bigger than the top. You can create that effect where your bottom is a little bit bigger than the top, and it'd be great. Next, we're going to go back up to our face. We're going to cut this circle in half with a guideline here to help us kind of figure out how we're going to shape that face. The first thing we're going to do now that we cut in half is make our cheeks. Our cheeks are going to come out at that halfway point and be a little bit rounder than our circle on each side. And we'll bring that roundness right down to the middle of the face where we overlap. So now we have cheeks. Next, we're going to go up we went from the bottom of the line to make cheeks. We're going to go up straight on both sides to the top. We're going to round across the top, one side to another there, to make the top of his head. Then we're going to start from one side and go up, go to the other side and go up, and then round across again. This will end up making the bib to Mario's hat. Before we make the rest of his hat, we have to make a couple more facial features. We're going to start with our nose. We're in the middle of my face here. I'm going to make an oval. Half of my oval will be above that middle line, and half of it will be below that middle line. Sit right there. That nose will show me where I'm going to start my ears. Straight across from the top of the nose, I'm going to make my ear going up. It's going to go down to the bottom of the cheek. Now that I have my ears, I can add the top of my hat. Going from behind the ears, I'm going to go straight up on each side. And then I'm going to round across to make my hat. I'll put even a little circle. We'll start it here for a guide. Later, we're going to put in Mario's M. Now, coming back down to Mario's face quickly, we're going to add his facial details in. Above his nose, I'm going to start making one of his eyes. I'm going to start at his nose and I'm going to go out, creating a loop, kind of like a lowercase n. It's going to go around, down, and come back into the nose at the side. These are behind the nose. They come up from behind, go around, then they go back down and come into the side. So that's the outline of our eye. And then we're going to do a similar shape going into the middle of the eye. And we'll do that twice. This will give us our coloring to color later, and it'll give us the middle part of our eye once we make it black. Next, Mario has a really cool mustache. It's going to start from the side of his nose, going out, and we're going to make some very cool little small loop-de-loops around to one side to the other. And that's going to make his mustache. Last but not least, he needs a mouth, right? So, from almost the middle part of each eye, I go straight down and make a dot. I'm going to make a line across, and then I'm going to make a smile line at the bottom. We'll give a line across for teeth, and Mario's face is almost complete. We can now get rid of some of those guidelines that we made. That circle that originally was our face has now been built up. A lot of different shapes, and we have that Mario character. While he has great expression, the last expressive piece he's going to need is some eyebrows. So I'm going to go above his eye and make a rounded line. I'm going to come down a little bit on each side and make another rounded line to make sure they're nice and thick. Notice his eyebrows go over the top of his hat a little bit. He's an animated character, so we can have fun with him like that. Now that we have his face in, let's start making that body. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make one of his arms, and it's going to be pointing upward, like he's punching up. And this arm is going to overlap some of his face here. So we won't be able to see this ear anymore once we're done. We're going to go start at the top of this bottom body oval. We're going to go straight up in the air, up until we get to about the top of the hat. I'm going to make that same kind of line again next to it, going down to that body shape. It's kind of thinner at the bottom than it is at the top. Once it's touching there, we have our arm. Up by where my hand's going to be, I am going to go across, finish my arm off. Then I'm going to make a small oval for the ends of my glove. And then to make my hand, I'm going to make a circle. We'll fill in our circle later with fingers, but right now we just want that there so we know where our hand's going to be. Our second hand is going to be closer to our body. If you think about close to your cheek and the face here, we're going to put a little bit of room down, and then we're going to make another circle about the same size as our hand up there. This hand's closer to our body, so we're just going to make a couple lines that brings it to the body. Mario's going to be in a cool jumping position. So as we come down to our legs now, on this side of the body, I'm going to follow it down, and I am going to kind of trace that outside, but instead of tracing down around the bottom, I'm going to keep going down and make my first line for my leg. I'm going to follow that on the inside, go across, and that's going to make my first leg. Because he's jumping, his foot, we're only going to see the top of it, so it's going to be a nice little loop. Our secondary leg is going to be up. So we're going to go over a little bit of space in the middle here. And then instead of coming down, I'm going to make a loop, kind of like an arch that goes up and out. Then I'm going to try and trace from the bottom here, that same loop. So we have an upper loop, and then from the bottom there we have a lower loop. erasing some of these lines I don't need so I can see it, this is going to make my second foot. And because it's closer to us and it's up, we're going to see the bottom of this foot, and we're going to see it by making an oval. Pretty cool, right? So, we'll make another smaller oval close to the outside, and this will show us the bottom of our shoe. Now we've got this great body layout, but let's start adding some details. First, we're going to add in our overalls. So on each side of Mario's chin here, I'm going to bring down a couple lines. And I'll round across to each to make his overall straps. Put a nice little button on them with a circle. After I have those straps on, I'm going to go across above the buttons, and I'm going to go across under my armpit, fill in my overall there. Under the bottom of my shoe here, I'm going to split this into two shapes. I'm going to round across the bottom, cut it in half. Where I cut it there, I'm going to do across the top. That gives me a little bit of a decoration on the bottom of my shoe. Shows me the sole and the heel and all that kind of fun stuff. Now, last but not least, let's go ahead and put in our fingers. Our thumbs are going to be the first thing that we draw, and they're going to be closer to the inside of the hand, closer to the face. I'm going to make a circle right there for my thumb, and then I'm going to make 4 ovals on top of each other to make my fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice how they fill up my circle shape there, and I can pull from those around to my thumb. And remember how up here we put that shape to make the glove? I'm going to put that same oval shape down here to show that that hand is gloved. Up here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put my circle in for my thumb, and then these ovals will be facing this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that hand is facing upward. I connect the little line between there, and then connect my thumb and my fingers to my hand. Awesome. We've got everything in there, but I mean, how are we going to know this is Mario unless we throw an M in his hat? I'm going to do a nice big M that goes from one side to another. And then I'm going to kind of outline it to make it a little bit thicker. That way I can color it in a second. Now that I have that and all my lines down, I'm going to go to my inking. When I ink, I use a black pen to add my final lines. So the lines that I want to keep are the lines that I trace. I can add more character, be kind of loose and fluid as I create this. I am creating a cartoon character, so if my lines are wavy and they have character to them, that's great. My buttons here. Go around, make my straps. I'll see this here. Here, but over here, my arms in front, so I'll put that arm there so I don't accidentally draw those ears and stuff like that. Just what's around and under it. When I get to my eyebrows, I'm going to color those in with my black line marker. Make them nice and dark so I can pick up my character's expression. And when I come to do my eyes, I have that outer color ring we talked about. I'm going to make a little tiny white dot. And with my black marker, I'll fill up everything except for that little tiny white dot. That white dot shows reflective light. So when we leave that little dot on the black spot in the middle of our eyes, it makes them look a little shiny. And if you look at your eyes in the mirror, you'll probably find something similar. Let's get our mustache taken care of. Mario's coming together really nicely. It's a very fun character to draw. I'm going to put a little bit of hair here behind my ear. Before I go up there, I'm going to make it M. Because I'm doing my M first in ink, that way I can make sure that my circle has enough room around it. I didn't feel like I had to try to stay inside the circle. Perfect. Let's get my upper hand. Bada bing. Bada boom. All my fingers. Top of my glove. Going down to the side here. Bottom body. Remembering I don't have to keep all the lines, just the lines that I want. Here we go. It's just the end of this foot here. We're all done. Now, to erase some of the lines that we don't want, like around the inside of the body, or around the inside of our hands, make sure that those are all gone and nice and clean so that we can add our color. Also, once we erase the lines that we don't need, take a good look to make sure we close everything off that needs to be closed. Perfect. Now Mario, because he's jumping, he can be doing something fun in the background. You can put our line in, kind of create a horizon. He could be going down a path. He could be punching a brick in order to get some more powers. I can't wait to see what kind of cool things you guys come up with for your Mario picture. Now let's color. Mario's overalls are going to be blue if you're going with a traditional Mario. But if you wanted to do something fun and different, have him have some type of power up, or just use your imagination to come up with your own colors, you're more than welcome to do that. Today, you're the artist in charge of designing Mario's next game. So your creativity is going to be able to decide what he's going to look like, what he'll be doing in the game. If you create your background, you're going to be creating a whole new world. And I know you're going to be great at it because you have such an awesome imagination. So once I have my blue in, I'm going to put in my Mario red in his shirt. And in his hat. Once I have the red in his shirt and his hat, I'm going to keep his gloves white on my picture, and I'll keep the white around his M. Got our red, got our blue. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow for our buttons. And then we're going to take some brown for our mustache. And I'm going to do that nice and dark. You can also use black if you want, but I like using the brown. And we're going to use it a little bit lighter here for his shoes. Brown shoes. some blue. And there you have it. We got Mario. Now for you guys, like I said, you can add so many cool different things in your background, different other characters, maybe some mushroom people. Who knows? You guys are great artists and you're very creative. For me, I'm going to be done with my picture. So I'm going to sign my name. Anytime we do awesome work, we always sign our name. Alright guys, there we go. Mario's all done. Man, I had a really good time drawing this today, and I can't wait to see what kind of awesome backgrounds you guys come up with. I hope you really had fun today in art, and I'm really proud of you and all your hard work. I'll see you tomorrow with another art class. Have a great Tuesday. Bye-bye.